I'm Ellen McLain, and I'm an actor in Seattle, Washington. And I've been very fortunate. I've gotten to voice GlaDOS in the Portal games, and Gypsy Danger in Pacific Rim, and the Administrator in Team Fortress 2, and Overwatch in Half-Life 2, and some other things.
Nice.
But I'm just an actor.
Awesome to hear. That's you've done a lot of stuff. So, first question is, if you can remember, what was your favorite line you have recorded in Team Fortress?
In Team Fortress? Victory!
Awesome. Have you ever played Team Fortress 2 or Portal 2 for enjoyment?
Well, I have a very good friend named Frank Kaufman, and he's graduating from high school this year. And I went over to his house a few years back, and he took me through Portal 2. Not the whole thing, but a good bit of it, because he wanted me to be able to see what playing the game was like. And, I've watched my husband play Portal, and I've watched my husband play Half-Life 2, but I'm not smart enough to play computer games.
Huh.
Or quick enough.
Oh, okay. How does it feel when you hear yourself in a video game?
It makes me laugh. I've seen, screen grabs on YouTube as well, besides being with John or being with my friend Frank watching them play the game. I mean, I've, seen screen grabs. And, the Portal games are very, very funny. So is Team Fortress 2.
Next question is, what was it like being asked to voice a slightly off GlaDOS in Pacific Rim?
Guillermo del Toro asked Gabe Newell if he could use the GlaDOS voice, and Gabe said yes. And so when I went into the studio, the director, Del Toro, was down in LA. I was up here in Seattle, and I absolutely gave him the straight GlaDOS read. Now, he was given the processing equation, which would have made me sound just like GlaDOS, but he decided, this is my opinion, he decided that he wanted Gypsy Danger to sound a little bit different. And in my opinion, I think I sound a little bit more human. But I was absolutely doing the GlaDOS read.
Nice. Do you keep up with the TF2 comic series, so like the Administrator as a character?
I call her the skinny old bitch. That's what I call her. I've seen some of it, but I'm a working actor, so I'm
doing a lot of things.
I am doing a lot of things, and teaching. I teach singing, and so I keep up with some of it, but I can't say that I watch it religiously.
Yeah. What is your favorite part of voice acting?
Getting paid?
Yeah.
I love acting. I love acting. I'm working on a play right now. I'm working on Tracy Lett's August Osage County. And I like creating characters and creating characters as honestly as I can. So, I feel like the Administrator is a very frustrated older woman, and I try to be true to that when I voice the Administrator. And GlaDOS, GlaDOS is lonely. And GlaDOS does a lot of what she does because she really enjoys the interaction with the player. I don't think that she knows how to deal with people in a very healthy manner, but I think that GlaDOS gets a lot of pleasure out of dealing with the player.
All right. Have you ever considered voice acting outside of video games?
Yes. I've done a lot of other stuff. I'm the voice of the Honeywell runway alert system. I'm called the female warning voice. And in most of the commercial airports in the world, I'm the automatic voice that the pilot hears, because pilots always deal in English. All air traffic control is done in English in commercial flying. And the pilots can choose voices, but I'm called the female warning. And I tell the pilot, at what altitude they're coming into the airport. I tell them whether they need to climb, whether they need to go right, go left. I like to say some of the things I recorded were climb now, descend now. And I mean, this is a very serious system that was devised by Honeywell, and it saved a lot of lives.
Yeah,
so
it's really awesome to hear that. It's like.
But my husband and I have been performers a long time, and it's a craft. We work on it, and we try to get better, and we try to do a good job every time. So, that's one of the other things that I've done in voice acting, and I've done some political commercials, and I've done some public service announcements.
There isn't any animation up here, so if they were wondering about that, in Seattle, there's not much animation.
Well, but I have done Bee and Puppy Cat.
That's true.
I'm trying to think of the animator's name, Allegra. But the program Bee and Puppy Cat, I played Tempbot on one episode.
Okay.
So that was fun.
We recently saw the interview of your husband. Do you have any funny stories involving him?
Oh, I have a lot of funny stories involving my husband. Are you kidding? We've been married for 30 years.
Gee. Congrats.
My husband and I are kind of a comedy act. I don't know if your listeners are aware of George Burns and Gracie Allen, but I kind of think of John and myself as sort of, he's George Burns and I'm Gracie Allen, and they were a wonderful couple and very much in love. And George was the straight man, and Gracie was this wonderful comedian, and one always wonders if she knew how funny she was, because it's hard to tell. Because one of the famous things that George Burns ever said is, to make it in this business you have to have talent, and I married mine. So, John and I laugh a lot. We have a language that we have developed over the last 30 years that I know that if people listened to us talk, they would think, what the hell are they talking about? Because we call things by names that I make up, because I never can remember the correct name for things. So, for example, there's a mountain near Seattle that I call Nobody's Knob. That's not the name of the mountain. I can't remember it. I call it Nobody's Knob.
So only
and
you and John know.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Do you feel like the Valve crew expected a whole lot from you when you started, and now?
Oh, I think they just, they were so much fun to work with, and we had a great working relationship on all the games that I've done. They're very creative people, and I felt like I was able to do my best work with them. And that's not always the case. But I felt very supported, and we discussed things, but they also knew how to direct me. And I really appreciated that. I felt like I knew what they wanted, and I have to give it to myself. I think I gave it to them.
Nice. Is there any story behind how your opera career turned to doing voice acting or voiceovers, whatever?
Well, I did both my degrees are in music, focused in opera. And when I got out of school back in the 70s, I was auditioning for opera, but I also wanted to work. So I started to audition for music theater, and I just did every audition that I could find out about. And I started doing music theater and opera. And lo and behold, I even got cast in some straight plays. I didn't sing, I just talked, which always kind of surprised me. When I got out of school, when I got out of music school, I did take acting classes. I took a lot of acting classes. I took a lot of dance classes in my young years. And I just wanted to perform, and I was willing and ready to do anything. And in 2002, as a middle-aged woman, at the time, my career had hit sort of a lull because I, wasn't an ingenue anymore, and I wasn't a character woman yet. And my husband said, "Why don't you get a voice demo?" So I finally did, and I got a voice demo, and I started to get voiceover work. I, was kind of surprised. I've always been surprised when people have hired me.
So that leads into the
surprised, but surprised.
That exactly leads into the question. His other question, where it goes, how exactly did Valve hire you? Like, how did you get in contact?
I didn't audition. I didn't audition.
Was it for Team Fortress or for everything?
No, it was Overwatch was first, wasn't it?
Yeah, Half-Life 2.
Yeah, Half-Life 2 was first. So I did an audition for Overwatch.
Okay. What is your favorite characters to voice? Not limited to Valve games.
Oh, it's GlaDOS. Come on.
Can you give us a line?
It's GlaDOS. Sure. We're a lot alike, you and I. You tested me. I tested you. You killed me. Oh, wait a minute. I guess I haven't killed you yet. Well, food for thought.
That is... that is the best.
I'm the horse's mouth.
What do you think is your greatest accomplishment so far?
Being married for 30 years.
Everyone in the comment section, give a round of applause and just hear everyone. Nah, that's awesome. That's actually really awesome.
And then also I have to say my voice teaching. I have been teaching voice since 1987, and I love teaching singing, and I love my students, and I have a lot of students who are working in the business and who are professionals and who are a lot better singers than I am. But that says that I'm a good voice teacher.
Yeah, well, you're exactly right. Let's see. Are you real friends with the voice actor of Miss Pauling? That's what I thought, because
Miss Pauling is my gal Friday.
yeah. There you go. That's your answer. Awesome math. That's his name.
I don't know who that is. What is the actor's name? I don't know who that is. I mean, listen, I will tell you something. I am in something called Warcraft, and I have been trying to figure out what it is.
Well,
But I know that I'm in it because I get residuals for it. But I couldn't tell you what I do in it.
What would GlaDOS think of the AI we currently have? Siri, Cortana, or whatever it is, and etc.
Oh, what does GlaDOS? I can tell you exactly what
Yeah,
GlaDOS.
tell us what GlaDOS thinks.
Why didn't they have GlaDOS do that?
That's what I thought.
No, I mean, it's, I use Siri because I have, an Apple smartphone. And I love the app that tells me how to get places. I just, tap in the address and I turn it on and I listen to that voice give me directions. And that is a great app. So I love doing that. I wish I had been asked to voice it. Time spot.
So that's pretty much all, unfortunately. But before we do end it, can you please give us maybe 2 lines of the announcer? Because they're all TF2 fans here. They want to hear the announcer's voice.
Well, I can say a few things like overtime.
Right.
You have disappointed me yet again. How's that?
Fantastic. I love it. Is there anything you want to shout out before we end this video? Anything at all?
Well, I'm very excited about our new game, The Church in the Darkness, from Paranoid Productions. It will be released later this year, written by Richard Rouse III and voiced by my husband, John Patrick Lowrie, and myself, Ellen McLain. We're Isaac and Rebecca Walker, and we run a cult in South America. And you have to come down there and see whether your nephew needs to be saved or not. So, shout out for The Church in the Darkness.
I'll be sure to link that in the description and put it up on the screen as well, so everyone can go check that out. Sounds pretty neat.
Thank you.
Thank you again for taking the time out of your day to do this interview. I'm sure everyone would have appreciated that. That was really nice of you to do that, just like John. All right, and signing off.
Failed.